I hope you don't get caught up in the glitz and the glamour of someone and you actually get to know them and you fall in love with their character and how they treat you and how they treat others and how they treat themselves. I hope you never get scammed. I hope you find the truest friendships that you've ever had. I hope those people look out for you and understand when you need space and when you need someone. I hope you get the biggest hug of your entire life. A hug that seems to heal a little part of you that needed to be healed. I hope you learn how to grow through all of the hurt and understand that certain pain helped you get to where you need, but it didn't mean that you deserved it. I hope you know that you are stronger than you think, because even though days are hard, you still haven't given up. And I know that because you're still here. I hope you know that there's going to be a day where you can meet your future mini self and you're going to love every part of them and you're going to watch them grow and you're going to help them grow and you're going to inspire them to be the best version of themselves because you learned how to be the best version of yourself. I hope one day that you get to know you're going to travel the world. You're going to be the biggest name that's ever been named. You're going to be the best author. You're going to be the best singer, the best CEO. You're going to be the best at whatever it is that you want to do because you believed in yourself that much. I always tell myself if I could tell my younger self anything, it's to never give up because every year you experience something new, whether it's a loss of friends, grieving, being the happiest version of yourself, learning about yourself, being okay being with nothing, being okay with being with everything, learning how to be alone, coping. I had trouble starting this podcast because I felt like I had to talk about a certain topic and keep you guys on track. But at the same time, what I really want to talk about is just being me on an everyday level. I struggle with bipolar disorder. So on some days, the biggest win is getting out of bed, getting dressed, and going to work. And staying sane. I get so scared that I'm going to end up as a statistic with bipolar. And I am glad that I'm saying this because it's a true fear. But I always have this side of me, this version. I don't know what to call. No, this is Veana. So I always tell myself there's two versions of me. And that may creep people out, but I don't care. There's one that is good at masking, and this is me. I'm very good at masking, and this is Veana. But then there's one named Veana, who is not good at masking and is completely just... That version of me is quiet, shut down. I don't speak. I like to just sit there. I can't speak for some reason most times. And I cry a lot. And when she comes out, I sometimes get annoyed because I know people understand when we get depressed at our big age and we have been so on the grind, like going to work every day, working out, eating good, just doing everything that we're supposed to be doing. And then we get hit with anxiety or depression or just sadness. It feels like an inconvenience because it's like, damn, we're here again. I thought I worked this out. I thought I ran it off. I thought I wrote it out. But sometimes, and I said this, sometimes you can do everything and your mind is like, no, honey, you're still sad. You're still grieving. Do you remember that your body went through something 3 years ago to this day? Yeah, and now we're feeling it. Now we're feeling it. This week has been one of the roughest weeks of my life mentally. Nothing physical. It's just been mentally super hard and super draining because this week just happens to be a week that I don't want to remember, that I've experienced for the last 4 years of my life. And so my body is just going through the trauma that I experienced from this year, 4 years in a row. And this is like the second year that I can just be like, okay, girl, like, it's over. Your body can let it go. But sometimes your body is not letting it go. My coworker reminded me of something that in 7 years, your body sheds its skin and becomes new. And that is like always something that I think about when I think about getting over my exes, is that my body will no longer be, it's going to be so foreign to them 7 years from the date that we broke up. And that makes me feel good. Man, I'm scared to say this because I've been doing so good and I don't want anyone to think anything, but at the same time, I shouldn't care what anyone thinks. I've been having a hard time with my breakup. And I'm not talking about my recent breakup. I'm talking about my other breakup. My older breakup that I had. I'm still having moments where I think about them. And it's not in the way of like, oh, I miss them and I want them back. It's in the like putting 2 and 2 together, okay? When you're in a traumatic experience and you hear something or you see something, your mind isn't like going to sit there and analyze it right away because you're so like in chaos mode. Well, now that I'm not in chaos mode and now that I can sit and think about what I experienced, my mind is putting 2 and 2 together and it's not looking so nice. I've been thinking more about the scenarios that I was put in or I was putting myself in when I was in that time frame. And so again, I wouldn't say I'm thinking about that person. I'm thinking about, I guess, the situations that we both were put in and feeling guilty about thinking about it because it makes me feel like I'm not over that person. But if I was put in a room with them, if I had an opportunity to see them again, I wouldn't want to have a conversation. I still don't want to talk to them. I still get like, you know that TikTok sound of Stevie Nicks talking about, but literally, everyone's talking about, yeah, my ex always comes back. Hun, no. When I think about my exes and I hear my ex's name, I almost throw up and have panic attacks. I almost have heart attacks. And those aren't love. That's not love to me. And I want people to understand that does not make him my soulmate in any. I used to think that person was my twin flame, but then I started learning that he was my karmic. Because if I did have an opportunity to do it again, I wouldn't do it again. Okay? That's where I'm at. All of us deserve the softest, purest, most healthiest love on this earth. I believe it. I believe that we all deserve someone who communicates with us and understands us and is aware of our emotions and aware of who we are as a person and doesn't combat negative or tough talks with arguments. Someone who doesn't take, oh, this is a tough conversation. Oh, I guess we're breaking up. I don't want any of that. When I say I want a love that feels like a movie, I know I'm going to get that because, bitch, I'm the main character. So therefore, I'm going to get a love interest worth 10,000 seasons, babe. That's how I feel. That's how I honestly feel. I do believe that I'm going to get a love that is out of a book, out of a novel, out of the most corniest, quirkiest rom-com you've ever seen. Only because I know the love that I deserve and the kind of love that I want. And I know that I'm no longer gonna fight somebody on that kind of love. You shouldn't have to fight, debate, or question the love you deserve. It is nothing. It's no. It's a knowing. That's when I asked people who I've seen who are in healthy relationships, they've always go, oh, I just knew. I looked at them, I had conversations with them, and in my gut, I knew that this person and I were meant to be. Point blank, period. And I think that's the coolest thing because quite honestly, so I went on a date recently, okay, and he's a great guy. I think he's cool. But I realized I was having this emotion with him that was in my chest and not in my gut. And when it's in my gut, y'all, I know that it's like, oh, this is cool. Like, this might be like something, but it's in my chest. That is lust. I was only lusting after him. And I realized I didn't want to feel this way with the person that I want to be with. And I know that may sound silly, but I feel like if I'm only sexually attracted to you and we start to talk and I'm not connected mentally with you, the sexual, it's a no for me. The mental and the sexual attraction have to mix. This is something that this last person talked to me. She goes, I feel like sometimes you only like me for my looks, and then when we talk, you get like, you don't like me anymore. And to be honest, that was true. And I realized I don't want to date people like that no more. And I know this may sound so bad, and I may sound like a villain here, but I was dating people solely off of the sexual attraction, and I was not getting to know people's mental. And then when I was getting to know their mental, it was too late because we were labeled. We were in a committed relationship, and I just wasn't thinking because I was so attracted to their physical and their sexual attraction, but I wasn't getting to know their mental. And that's why the arguments would happen, and that's why things would go left. It's because I didn't take the time to get to know them. And that's why I say, y'all, it's important to get to know people so you don't end up in the scenarios that I ended up in, where sex was the only thing holding y'all together. Where sex was the only thing that made y'all you. Like, woo, y'all, we unpacking today. Isn't that wild? So this was a very short episode. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm sorry that it was short and like very random, but I just wanted to get something out there. I hope you guys have a good day. I love you all, and